everyone. This is Amanrat 133 again. This time, though, I'm gonna be doing an in-depth movie review. I'm gonna be tackling down The Devil Wears Prada. Now, the in-depth movie reviews or analysis, they're gonna be a little bit different. Most probably, they're not gonna be about the latest movie out there. Simply because I want to pick on movies that we have seen for a while. They've been a while around for a couple years, and that we can digest a little bit and then think about it through. Now, The Devil Wears Prada, I think it's a fantastic movie. It's just amazing. Meryl Streep is a core of that movie. She did amazing. It's maybe one of her best performance. But I think overall the movie is a criticism on corporate America and what is to have a job, what is the stake of having a job, what should we do or we shouldn't do for a job, right? So first of all, I'm gonna go in chronological order, describing a little bit what happens in the movie, how it progresses, in this sense, of course, not so much as a movie review, I guess. But let's get started. So first of all, our protagonist Andy, which is she just graduated as a journalist. She can't find a job, so she goes and applies for Runway, which is this huge fashion magazine. Now she doesn't even know the magazine. She just goes there because basically she got is the only place that call her back. So she goes, and from the get go, Emily, which is played by Emily Blunt, is the first assistant of Miranda Priestley, which is the boss, Meryl Streep. She from the get go thinks bad of her. From the get go, thinks she's absolutely not fit for the job. Everyone, which is interesting, is just a funny comment, I guess. Everyone thinks she's fat. She is not fat. As a matter of fact, she's not fat, but everyone thinks she's fat, right? Because I guess it's fashion. Everyone, like later on, a character in the movie is gonna tell her the 4 is the new 2 and 6 is the new 4, etc. Well, she basically has to convince Mary Streep, Miranda Priestley, to hire her. And as later Miranda's gonna admit, she took a chance with her, with a fat, smart lady. Again, she's not fat. Now, it's interesting, and the movie's kind of a comedy chick flick kind of deal. It's funny, it's lightheaded, it's just easy. It goes fast. It's a very entertaining movie. But for example, from the get go, the job is really hard. Emily is just kind of a bitch on her. She tells her what to do. She doesn't really help her much or train her much. She just, this is what you gotta do. Just do it. Just do it. Deal with it. She even in one scene tells her, deal with it. So she has to kind of learn in the go. She has to learn really fast, really fast, because the job is a fast-paced job. The job is not gonna wait for her. She has to learn right now. Is a right now kind of job, and well, the expectations are huge. As she later is gonna say, Miranda Priestley is the type of boss that if you do something wrong, she's gonna chop off your head. But if you do something good, well, it's basically your job, so you don't get any kind of praise, right? And she gets a very low pay. I mean, she doesn't even get paid well. But despite all of this, everyone keeps telling her, a million girls will die for your job. A million girls will die for your job. So she basically have to be grateful, right? Well, so the big change happened. She changes her outside. She does her hair. She changes her outfits. She changes a little bit the way he behave. I guess a little bit more feminine. So that's fun to watch though. But the big change happened on her inside. She slowly starts shifting her morality. For example, even though she has a boyfriend, she starts flirting with one of the characters. And she starts spending a lot more time at work. A lot more time at work. Now, this is something key in the movie, that she starts basically jeopardizing her personal life for the job. She misses her boyfriend's birthday to be at her job on overtime. She misses parties. She misses basically spending all her time with friends and her boyfriend just to be at the job. Now, there's something huge in this movie, which is the week in Paris. The first assistant gets to go with Miranda Princess to Paris, and gets to see all the fashion and get in the world of fashion and whatnot, and it's kind of a privilege actually. So Miranda Priestley tells her at one point that Emily, the first assistant, is no longer the best fit for going to Paris with her, and in this case has to be Andy, and tells Andy either you go ahead and tell Emily that you're going and you come with me, um, or you cannot tell her. You won't go to Paris, but you I will think that you're not taking your career seriously. So she actually does it. Of course, Emily gets super upset. She goes to Paris, and Paris is as everyone told her. Now in Paris, she finds out that Miranda is gonna get a backstab basically and replaced. Um, she outsmarts everyone, and at the end, Miranda doesn't get replaced. And at the end of the movie, Miranda tells her that she was very surprised for that. That she was really, really surprised. As we see in the movie, they're kind of cutthroat. Everyone, Miranda, the assistants, everyone is kind of cutthroat. They will step on your face if they need to get to the next level. And she tells Andy that she's very impressed that she did that and that she sees a lot of herself in her. And Andy gets kind of offended. You can see it in her expression. Amazing acting. That she gets kind of offended and she tells her, "No, no, no, I'm not like you. We're not anything alike." And she tells her, "We are. Look at what you did to Emily." And and she tells her, "I didn't have a choice." And she tells her, Miranda's response is, "Of course you did. And you chose to do that to Emily." Of course, great Hollywood happy ending. She leaves her job right there. She comes back with the boyfriend and whatnot. So that's a little bit of what happened in the movie. Throughout the movie, just I guess focusing on the job aspect of it. Now, I have a couple points though. The first one being you have to be grateful, right? Like I said, everyone tells her you have to be grateful for the job. You are giving such an opportunity. You have to be grateful for that job. But look at what happened at the job. She doesn't get that well of a pay. She has to do a lot of things that doesn't even involve her job. She has to be basically a cutthroat, have to change herself. She needs to go through all this change to actually do well in her job. She needs to sacrifice her personal life to do well in her job. And yet she has to be grateful. And it's kind of, in my opinion, it was kind of ironic. And actually, I was joking with a friend recently, where he was telling me that he's spending all this time at work because he has a lot of things to do. He was basically going from morning to night, and I told him, "Well, but you have to be thankful, right?" We were just making a joke, and it's ironic because nowadays in society, I guess is what we're always bombarded with. You have to be grateful, even if your job is sucky, even if you don't like it, even if you make little money, even if you get treated bad, even if your boss is an asshole, even if you work with clients, even if your clients are assholes, you have to be grateful. You always have to be grateful, and it's just baffling. It's just baffling that despite how bad sometimes the jobs are, we still have to be grateful. And I want to make a point though. For example, we are the worst paid generation, millennials, in the history of the United States, in comparison, for example, to our parents or grandparents that weren't as underpaid, I guess, as we are. We are now paid less. We are required to have more education. As a lot of you guys know, a bachelor's or a career is no longer sometimes enough. You have to have a master's or more, or a shitload of experience. And well, the cycle of always. You need to get experience, but in order to get experience, you need to get a job. To get a job, to get experience, you need to get a job. In an unending cycle. So another huge thing, and this is kind of I guess the main point as to why her personal life starts crumbling down, is that she has to spend a lot of her time at a job, a lot of her time at runway, and seeing as things go. For example, I was looking at some charts that the United States is one of the countries that spends a lot, statistically speaking, a lot of your time that you spend on your job. But I mean, let's slow down. Let's think this about why do we have jobs in the first place, right? We have jobs to afford things. We have jobs to basically to sustain ourselves, to live. And as well, of course, there's the need to feel useful, the need to do something, to feel proud of what you're doing. But if you're spending your time at work, then what is the point of it, right? If you're gonna spend the majority of your day at work, then what's really work about? Is your work your life, or your life just have a job? Has a job. I mean, it's just, again, it's just kind of baffling that we spend so much time at work, and sometimes our works are so harsh. They're harsh. It's just such a hostile environment. And first of all, you need to be grateful despite everything. And second of all, if you really want to advance, you need to invest a lot of time on it, right? You need to be there. You need to do more hours, even if you're not required to, right? Because that shows that you really have interest for your job. But I mean, it's kind of bullshit, to be honest. And I have a great example. For example, Italy is one of those countries that they don't spend 40 hours per week at a full time job. They spend less hours than that. Yet they still do good. They still do good in revenue speaking, and of course the employees are so much happier than we are. A lot more. Now, I guess this is kind of a downer analysis, right? Was a silver lining behind this. I mean, yeah, our jobs sometimes suck. Sometimes we get underpaid. Sometimes we don't even like it. We have to invest all this time and basically sacrifice our personal life to do well. I mean, was the silver line? Well, the silver line, I guess, is that we can change. We definitely can change. But I think that the first thing that we have to change and define is redefine success for us. Redefine success for us as a society. Just look at the media, look at the movies, look at the TV shows, series, whatnot. We define success and we see as someone successful, someone who spends a lot of time in their job, him or her, someone who upscales to management or more, someone who gets paid really, really well and who just basically lives for their job, right? But is the expectation. But I mean, if we redefine that in society and we no longer see that as, I guess, your main success in life, and start seeing success in other terms, which definitely can happen, then definitely the expectations are gonna be a lot different. They're not gonna be the same. But we have to change as a society in that sense. And another big thing, we have to change in the sense that we consume a lot. We basically live to consume. And now, I think this is absolutely interrelated with your job, because a lot of times we even take jobs that we don't like but pay well because it's gonna give us a lot more, I guess, consumer potential. But I mean, all of that can change. We really can change the society and change all this around. But there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know I'm still kind of rookie at this. I'm learning. There's a lot for me to learn. I need to learn more about the camera, the settings, a better location, I guess, better audio, better video quality. I'm still getting the hang of editing my videos and whatnot. So just bear with me, guys. Bear with me. This is definitely a hobby. I really don't expect to make money out of this. It's just something that I like to do, especially this analyzing movies. Is just something that I like to do, analyze them in depth, because I think a lot of times they really hold a meaning behind it. And definitely, I wanted to mention this. If you want to check out, I'm gonna leave the link in the description. If you want to check this video, is by comic book girl. Is an amazing analysis on today's society. Is based on the Hunger Games Catching Fire movie. So I'm gonna leave the link below. And if you guys want to check it out, I think it has a lot of relevance with the video I just uploaded. So check it out. And as always, guys, have a wonderful week. Thank you.